Hey, LinkedIn, what is going on? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are orientated geographically. I am super excited to talk to you today. This is the first of many high vibe highlights of high vibe companies. So just to let you guys know, welcome to the High Vibe Zone. Super excited for this special edition and for the people that are on. So warm up that chat, if you will. Let us know those comments. Welcome to the High Vibe. Share your name. What are you grateful for? We're about to get into it. I am going to introduce not only the company, but the guests with me today. I'm going to bring them in and magic, voila. Hey, Iram. Hey, Erik. How are you?
Doing great.
Feeling high vibe.
Yes, you guys are in the high vibe zone. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'm overjoyed. Not only is it you guys I'm talking to, but this is the first of highlighting high vibe companies. So companies that are doing amazing work in a different vibration, a different frequency. So I'm really excited to chat with you guys today. And I know that you're joining from a different location. Do you mind shouting out where you are?
Yeah, we are down in Baja, California, Mexico.
Nice. How's the weather?
I think it's sunny and 70. We're super grateful.
Nice. And we are one of the people that have commented. Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining us from Oakland, California. You're near my neck of the woods. So awesome. Thank you so much for coming into the High Vibe Zone. We're going to kick it off with an encouraging word, which usually every time we've done this aligns with our conversation or just like the frequency of what we're talking about. So I'm going to pull a card, share it with you guys, and then I'd love to get your thoughts on it as we just get warmed up. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay, here we go. I'm always curious about what it's going to say and like where it leads our conversation. So super excited. And while I'm shuffling, hey, Rebecca from London, let's go. This is amazing. Thank you for joining us in the High Vibe Zone. I know that it is probably around your evening time. Okay, I did not see this card come up, but this is amazing. It says daydreaming is preparation. So our encouraging word right? Daydreaming is preparation. I'm going to pass the mic to you. I'm going to start with Iram. What does that mean?
For me, daydreaming as preparation comes to the process of manifestation and like using visualization and meditation, which I kind of see that as daydreaming because sometimes you're in a meditation and you're thinking about things, even though you might want to be having a thoughtlessness experience. And a lot of times those daydreams prepare you for creating whatever it is that you're daydreaming about. So that's what came up first for me.
Nice. Thank you for that. As I said, these cards tend to be very synergetic to our conversation. Erik, what say you?
I mean, I couldn't have said it better, but we're actually super passionate about daydreaming and staying in a dream state, but then also taking that into action. So love that we pulled that and excited to dive deeper.
All right. Well,
yeah. And one more comment actually on that before we go. I think when we're imagining a more magical world and, a more golden age of humanity, that's where the collective daydreams and the collective power of daydreaming comes in handy to prepare us for a better world.
I absolutely love that. I don't know if you guys can see my heart. Iram, you're just spot on. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's get into it. We have a few more comments. We got someone that resonates with that card. Thank you so much. So for those of you that don't know, Kiara, or I don't really know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but she plays beautiful music on YouTube. Oh my gosh, just amazing, amazing light. So thank you so much for being with us today, and forgive me for not pronouncing or mispronouncing your name properly, but thank you so much for being here. We are going to jump into it. Let me just adjust a couple banners here. For our first question, could you introduce yourself, your name first and last, and talk a little bit about where did you grow up?
All right, I'll take the lead on that. My name's Erik Haug. I'm from Laguna Beach, California. And was there anything else to the question, Charisse, other than name, where I'm from, that I didn't catch?
No, I think you got it.
All right, I nailed it. That was an easy one.
You did, yeah. We're starting. It gets harder as we go. Trust me.
He's getting nervous about the question already, but my name is Iram, and I grew up in New Jersey, actually, out on the East Coast.
Nice. So we got that East Coast, West Coast collaboration. I love it. Okay. So let's move on to this question. Was there anything significant about your upbringing that led you to do this type of work?
Yeah, I can start. My background is Pakistani. Like my parents are from Pakistan, though I was born in New Jersey. And, just growing up in Pakistani culture, I got to see firsthand a women's empowerment movement that's many years behind that of the US. And I'm really grateful because both my parents empowered me to go to a great school and get the education I needed to work in consulting and in the business world. But I did go to Pakistan many times, and I have seen a lot of women who are really still struggling to get their education and stand up and bring up in this world. And I know the women empowerment movement is different in different phases all throughout the world, but it's one and the same. So, a lot of the work we do at Light is empowering female entrepreneurs and female leaders, which we can get into later. And so being in, I was doing consulting before I was at Light too. And one of the things that was missing for me was the impact piece. So what I appreciate right now is that I can bring in my passion of empowering women and integrate it in many different ways in all of the work we do. So I think that's a little tidbit that's related to my upbringing and the work we're doing.
Thank you so much for that. I love what you shared, how the story threads into your perspective now. And I think it brings a really beautiful universal perspective, not just from a human element, but also culturally, and just being able to that dichotomy. So thank you so much for sharing that. Erik, same question.
Yeah, so I have to say, very fortunate to have a lot of leadership in my family, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, just a lot of admiration for, the different elders and lessons that I've been able to learn. So really grateful for that. And actually a third generation strategy consultant. So my dad, I don't know if he's out there on LinkedIn, but learned a lot from him. And then my grandfather also had a strategy consulting firm. So I've been around that a lot. And I'd say most notable though, and I like to talk about this as my main inspiration and drive, is my brother who has autism. And, from very early on, he's 2 years younger than me. We were in a state of constantly problem solving and finding ways to integrate Justin into this world. And so became very passionate and got to witness my parents constantly problem solving, including, when we didn't have great education for Justin growing up, we started a school for autism, Pyramid Autism Center, and just very entrepreneurial, looking at what's happening and how to improve the quality of life for those around us, and especially the autism community. So Justin, my brother, is definitely a huge inspiration. It's driven me to want to solve problems and help more people have a better quality of life.
I absolutely love that. Like what you're talking about, again, mirrors a lot of what Iram had shared, but it goes to the core of humanity. And you're not only have you experienced it with someone you deeply love, but you're also able to translate that into the work that you're currently doing. That's what I would call heart work, not like hard work. And so I really appreciate you sharing that story, and like shout out to your dad, because I think he did comment on one of the posts. I saw the last name. I didn't want to assume, but I was like, I wonder if there's some relation. So shout out to your dad and anyone else that's watching. That has helped pave this for you. So thank you guys for sharing that. All right, you guys ready to go another level deeper?
Always.
All right. Do you have a personal life philosophy? If so, what is that? Erik, can you go first?
Yeah, I'd say surfing. So just really looking at life as waves and different days of weather and conditions, and how can you adapt and ride those waves and stay in flow. I'm really grateful for the experience of learning how to surf and being able to surf, and apply a lot of analogies to surfing to life. And yeah, I think in general, just love philosophy and studying different spiritual practices and philosophy. But I think surfing is probably my main one that I attempt to embody every day.
Nice. Thank you so much for that. And another shout out. Oh my gosh, we're like biggest fan today. She loves that question, and I think your answer, Erik, really resonated with her. So thank you so much for that. Same question to Iram. Let me just throw it up there. I'm still trying to like navigate these things. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Do you have a personal life philosophy? What is that? How does, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would say this one, I'm stealing a quote from Kundalini Yoga World. But it's definitely been a philosophy that I was doing before I even entered Kundalini Yoga World, which for people watching, I teach Kundalini Yoga. So it's a big part of my life. But the philosophy is vibrate the cosmos and the cosmos shall clear the path. So I think a lot of times in my life and just with navigating reality and life, there's been challenges that I haven't been able to figure out the answer right away, but really focusing on going within and raising my frequency and my neutrality and working on my inner power has helped clear the path and let solutions come to me rather than me in a stressed out way seeking those solutions. And so whenever I'm in, I'd say a challenging place where I'm like, okay, like I don't know what to do, I go back inside and I bring myself to a really happy, high vibe place, and then the solutions just come themselves. And to be honest, it's worked so far in my life. So I'm gonna keep going with it, and I'll let you know if things change. But so far, so good.
I absolutely love that, because what you're saying reminds me a lot of birth and just allowing that natural process to happen. And so I really resonate with just like how you even said it. I wish I could have typed it up in terms of that, but good thing this is recorded, because that is definitely a quote to really highlight. And you're right. It's like when we constrain, it makes it very hard for things to flow through. Same as with birth, same as with nature. When we constrain, it makes it harder for that to come through. So thank you so much, both of you, for sharing this. And got a couple shout outs I want to just acknowledge here. Hey, Nina. Hey, girl. Hey, like, welcome. So glad that you're able to catch this. Oh my, Nina is not only a friend, but a neighbor. So literally her house is like right there. And so she's definitely someone I am excited that you're able to catch it. Welcome to the High Vibe Zone. And beautiful comment. What you guys are saying, and I think this is one of the reasons why I wanted to highlight high vibe companies, is because you guys touch on that vibration and frequency that flows not only from yourselves internally, but it flows through what you're doing. And people need to hear that. So I'm very excited. Thank you so much for this beautiful comment. And yes, can we get that quote written out? We're on it. We will definitely make sure you guys have that, because it was beautiful. I got like chills when you said it, Iram. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And yes, you are welcome, Nina. Nina is really awesome too. She does a women's network. I think it's the woman expat, or if Nina, if you drop it in the comment, I'll give it a shout out. But she does women empowerment. So Iram, it might be interesting connection for you and Nina to connect. Okay, let me get back into this. So Light CoCreative, what is it?
Yeah, so Light CoCreative is a purpose-driven innovation and strategy shop. We work with different early stage social entrepreneurs on their projects and helping them get to their next milestones. Our whole team comes from different disciplines and very entrepreneurial backgrounds in business. And we also work with larger companies and who we call intrapreneurs. So entrepreneurial, bold, visionary executives, emerging leaders at larger companies that are pushing edges and looking to advance bigger companies in new ways. And the main initiatives that we're focused on and exclusively support have to be connected to 3 focus areas. One is wellness, so something that's improving the health and well-being of individuals or humanity. And 2 is inclusion, so initiatives that are creating more inclusion, more community, more connectivity for humanity. And 3 is sustainability, so something that's really helping us step into a more regenerative and sustainable future. So we look for great projects in those 3 areas and figure out ways that we can add value. We can talk a little bit more about what we do exactly, but that's the high level. And we have a bunch of great partners we're super proud to be supporting. Anything I missed?
Yeah, I think that's the great, like, what is Light CoCreative? And I think like a little phrase about what we are, and going back to our card we pulled, we're a shop that helps daydreamers bring their dreams to reality.
You guys are so great. Yes. Thanks. That's also a quote. We can also like throw that up there. Please like quote that.
Yeah,
I love
how
you
to the website.
Yeah. And like I said, the cards that we pull usually are very synergetic to these conversations. So thank you so much for that. And Nina also loved the quote. So that's, definitely sticking with our group today. And then this is the organization, the Expat Woman, which is a gathering of women doing amazing things. So I'll make sure, Iram, after this to connect you guys via LinkedIn. Intro.
Yeah, definitely connect.
Awesome. So this brings me to my next question. Why did you start Light CoCreative? I think when you guys went into, again, that question of your upbringing and your personal life philosophy, I'd love for you to share like how that output came into your why for starting Light CoCreative.
Yeah, so the why really stems from envisioning a business community and a private sector that is truly mission and purpose driven, and seeing opportunities for business to make an impact when done right and done well, and wanting to realize that vision of a fully sustainable and purpose driven, ethical private sector. And so with that, and looking at our many challenges with existing capitalism and business, let's just say over the last 10 years, we have had a lot of lessons as strategists and entrepreneurs and creators, and come up with a lot of great tools, and found ways to just support projects in meaningful, valuable ways. And so we, coming from big consulting and different projects and working with a lot of Fortune 500s and, again, great mission-driven entrepreneurs, formed Light CoCreative about 2 years ago and got a great band together to say, hey, let's realize this vision of a better business community and a better private sector is the main core to it. So there's more to it, but that's the core reason, is realizing better business and helping the world, become better through business. Anything to add there on the
I didn't start Light CoCreative, but I can add one more thing on and kind of how I got sold on it. But like, one of the things that we're very aligned on is, as we're trying to build a more socially and ecologically conscious world, change has to come from outside of corporate America and inside of corporate America. And that's why, as we kind of mentioned before, we're working with intrapreneurs and entrepreneurs. So it's like, we help the entrepreneurs start building new structures and ways of a world working in a way that's better for all of humanity. And then we work with the companies that are already existing and inside. Like, we're not going to get to a point where we're shutting down all of the current companies. So it's like, how do we take these global leaders and help them create a better world too, with the leaders inside who want to be entrepreneurs? So that was a big reason I was super excited about Light. And I know that's one of the many great reasons that Erik started Light.
I love everything you guys shared. And I think that it's not only has it been a perfect divine timing for such a time as this, as I believe companies are waking up to other ways to do business. And it sounds like what you guys are doing is providing a roadmap, a blueprint, a strategy for companies to execute on a higher scale of humanity within the context of business. I think that's like such an amazing, like now, yesterday, now is like the perfect time. What would you say to that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fascinating to see different, let's just say, CSR budgets and on the venture side, impact funds growing and seeing more success and return on the investments and more interest. And then obviously with 2020 events, I think from just what's happening in the world, turning up the volume of what's needed and the many problems that need to be solved. And it's been this trending line. Again, if you kind of look at data going 10 years back and see the rise in investments and the rise in needs and what's being prioritized by global leaders, it is the time now. And we're really excited about this next decade and what's possible for transformation.
Nice. I like that. Okay. Next question. How is what you're doing translate to high vibe outcomes? And I know you guys know what I mean by high vibe. I'm just, for everyone that's watching. What? Say that again, Erik?
I said Iram's are well, wears many hats, but including chief outcome officer, making sure our results are always high vibe and high integrity. So I'll let you take
No, I think you're really high vibe too. So I don't know.
We share the high vibes, but you always the outcomes. I think always you're making sure we deliver.
Well, I think I would say part of it is a certain baseline level of positivity. I think a lot of times, when we're working on projects, there's a way to look at projects as, no, this is not possible, or like there's only a middle case scenario or whatever it is. And I think when we work with our partners, we like to believe in their dreams and help them believe in themselves as well, and then show them the how. Because a lot of times, I would say what's missing between the dream and the outcome is the how, and that's what we work on, and we integrate high vibes within that, right? And I think that comes, and these are some soft skills, as you might call it in the corporate world, but it's a combination of, and I think Erik does a great job about this. He has a strong positive masculine energy. So a lot of times when we're working with female entrepreneurs too, this comes in handy. It's staying really confident and really positive no matter what the challenges come, and doing things with a smile on your face, because you can do it in two different ways. You can be a little grumpy and stressed out, or you can be like, okay, we have to solve these problems, let's do it. And then I think a second thing is, just integrating some, I would say, high vibration techniques with like meditation and like thinking through like positive manifestation. And, there are different clients and different teammates have different, I'd say, levels of interest in this kind of stuff, but it's definitely part of the work we do. And, a lot of times we will include some meditation sessions with and coaching with our clients to help keep that mental stress low and their own personal vibration high. So it's very integrated. I don't know if that was a very clear answer, but I think it's bringing in a lot of those soft skills and just keeping the positivity super high, no matter what's happening, including all of 2020. We've kept a smile on our face and acknowledged everything that's happening and been up to date on all the problems, but still keeping a strong sense of, what is possible? What's the North Star? How do we create a better world?
Nice. I appreciate everything that you touched on. And I think this next question is really, you guys already answered it in a way, but I have it already preset, but I'm going to show it, but ask it in a kind of a different way. Like, what kind of companies and people do you desire to work with? Like, what do they need to have as a contributing baseline to really this high vibrational transformational work that you're doing?
Yeah, so when we look at aligning with a partner, I think that's a first keyword. So we're not interested. I know we share this business philosophy of really looking at, it's not a transactional short-term project.
Mm-hmm.
What's your North Star? How are we really creating value together over the long term? And that alignment at first in terms of shared values, having a shared vision for what you're doing. Again, over the last year in particular, we've been really focusing on wellness, inclusion, and sustainability. So, are you touching one of those focus areas, or some of our partners are doing something for all three in a different capacity? And then, really looking at the leadership capacity, so that, and the growth mindset. So, either you are a strong leader who needs more leverage and is constantly pushing, or you're someone who's really developing as a leader, but you know what you're doing and what you want to be doing. And so we look for that characteristic, I'd say, of leadership and capacity quite a bit. And then, I'd say the only other nuance is, we're really great at inflection points. So where we come in, where you have this, you're going to this next level or this next milestone, and you need that extra leverage. And we can really come in and help align on what's necessary to go to that next stage. In traditional startup terms, your pre-seed going to seed, or seed going to Series A, or you just had that infusion of capital or got that budget. Now, what do we do with it? How do we do this? We're really good at those inflection points, as opposed to if you're just looking for linear progress and growth. We have resources for that, but we're much better at the inflection point and what we look for. So that's a helpful overview. Anything I missed?
Yeah, I would say Eric hit on a lot of the key characteristics in people we work with, and in a simple way to explain it, anyone who has a mission or a problem they want to solve, whether it's in a big company or they're an entrepreneur and they're willing to work with us and put in the effort and really roll up their sleeves and do the work, we're down to help, because we're just trying to solve problems here and help people reach their North Stars and their mission. So, we really get a variety of people at times. And sometimes, prior to that, if there's some folks who don't even have their vision set yet, they kind of vaguely are like, I want to solve these 10 problems. And then, Eric does these really incredible visioning sessions with them, and he takes them through a visualization process and helps them define what is the actual problem you're solving. So we help with that too. So there's several different things, but simply you're trying to solve a problem, we can help you.
Nice. Erik, you touched on something a little bit earlier, which flows into my next question. You mentioned the word inclusion. So as a company, how do you navigate the sudden focus for inclusion? Like, it seems to have exploded over the last, 10 months. And I know that you guys are involved in it in some capacity. How do you guys navigate that and make sure that you aren't a checkbox, and you bring in that level of sustainability, especially around that inclusivity within the workplace?
You broke up a little bit, but I think we got the question here, and I think we're back live currently.
Okay.
And so I think we got some good sound bites. And I mean, for this, it's really, again, it's been prioritized. It's something that's innately been in our DNA and of interest for creating more access and more balance on a number of levels, and understanding the power of, diverse perspective and having people feel like there's an opportunity to contribute and collaborate. That's really, the egalitarian working style is how we work. So I'd say the sudden focus is just helping us reinforce the different commitments and interests, and help different leaders step into integrity with that focus. Because it's are you really, walking the talk? And that's something that's come forward more. And to Iram's point of, are you really ready to do the work and lean in and make genuine change? So I'd say that conversation has just come to the top of focus more. And then, I'd say we've had an opportunity to do more work around inclusion. So that's been positive, and, helped us develop more solutions and resources and capabilities to support this new focus area for many companies, and at least awareness for many companies. Anything to add?
Yeah, I would say double tap everything Erik said. Some thoughts from me, and I know, Sharice, we see eye to eye on this piece a lot. Like, the way I think our culture at Light really views inclusion is that, hey, we are all one. Like, let's focus on that oneness rather than the separateness. And I think a lot of what you see in the media and the press and statements that companies are making are so focused on seeing things as Black and white and woman and man, but we're really focused on, like, how do we create a space where everyone feels included in our company? And there isn't this like we don't fill things in like a quota type of perspective, but we create a space where we're attracting talent that is multidimensional, is how I would call it, with multidimensional skill sets and different colors, and we actually get a lot of women, more than men, but at Light. So I think that's just a outcome of like our inclusive environment, and people feeling like they can be themselves and they have the opportunity to like have their voice. And then I think on the flip side, that's something we're trying to bring to clients, where I think, from my perspective, I think a lot of people are going about inclusion in a way that's not going to lead to sustainable long-term outcomes. And if people start viewing it in a way of like really getting deep and being like, okay, like, how do I change how this company works so everyone feels included, rather than I need X amount of people here, there, that will shift the experience. So, that's a lot of the work we're collaborating with you on, with inclusion by wellness and whatnot. But those are my 2 cents on on inclusion.
I thank you so much. I think that this nugget is very, very helpful and gives a lot of context to what you guys are doing in that space. There are 2 things that I want to kind of dig in a little bit deeper. You mentioned multidimensional. You brought up a thought that people are variable. They're variable, and all of that is really helpful to know in establishing inclusion. And can you talk a little bit more about, inclusion by wellness?
Yeah, I can take the lead on that. So inclusion by wellness really came from trying to understand the how on inclusion, and being in the wellness world as well, like teaching yoga. And I think the three of us really came up with inclusion by wellness, bringing these thoughts of like wellness and how do we create inclusion together. This was kind of the baby that came out, where it's like, if you start with wellness and you create a space and an environment where people are feeling their needs are met, whether that's through yoga and meditation or some kind of working out, or if it's more from a wellness of like needs perspective, like a company is allowing you to have some sort of resource to take care of your children, or like a healthy food program, whatever it is. Wellness is a big bucket, but wellness basically means, are you taking care of yourself, or are you taking care of your employees? That allows people to feel nourished enough to have conversations about inclusion without feeling as triggered. So, the idea of inclusion by wellness is merging these two concepts to allow for conversations and change that create more inclusive companies that are long-term and sustainable. I think that's like my short version of inclusion by wellness, but I think it's a much bigger conversation.
Nice, thank you, Eric. Anything you would add?
No, I think it's great. I just am really grateful for the work and the opportunity to collaborate on inclusion by wellness with you, Cherise, and the workshops we've done, and seeing just in even the shorter hour formats how much transformation and depth we're able to provide for everyone participating, and all just the reminder of bringing wellness back into focus and self-care, which I know was a big aha participating in your How to Be a Racist workshop and really unpacking that and diving into I think it was the second workshop on self-care, and then us coming together and really putting that with the work that we've been collaborating on, and Iram's amazing background in yoga and being able to guide these sessions. So excited to do more this year, and to continue focusing on that.
I heard bits and pieces. I don't know, the connection just happened to like go out a little bit, but I got a little bit of what you were saying. So thank you. We're just having, I think, a little bit of connection issue, but it's okay. I always like to tell people technology, like humans, are not 100% perfect. So we are flowing through this.
We'll keep rolling. I love the guidelines here, and I think
Nice. Well, let's keep it going. I'm going to ask, I'd love to know this question. Out of all the work that you do, what would you do for free?
Well, for me, I love the visioning and guided visualization sessions. I love all the work we do, honestly. I hope one day can do tons of pro bono work. That's definitely a North Star. And, the visioning work in particular, though, has a lot of depth, and just finding the opportunity to bring clarity to folks. So, I've done quite a few with friends and family at different points in life. And then, we love doing it with our partners and in a business context too. So definitely I'd say the visioning work is really enriching.
I would say for me, and this isn't one of our offerings per se, but it's integrated in a lot of ways, but teaching Kundalini yoga and meditation in whatever capacity, short form or longer form, to like anyone who needs it. I've done that a lot for free. And, I think part of my thought on that has been because I've been lucky to be prosperous in many ways, like, and Kundalini yoga has been such a huge transformational experience for me. Like, it took me, like, back when I was at Deloitte Consulting, it took me from being, I say, an average consultant to a rock star consultant, and like really showed me how working with your biochemistry can enhance all aspects of your life. And I feel like that's like the greatest gift I've gotten in this lifetime. So if I can share with that with as many people as possible through Light, through, you know, I'm also an MBA student, so in my MBA program, that's my like service to the world. And it's amazing when I can get paid for it, but otherwise I feel like the universe rewards me for offering that for free in a lot of ways. And like I mentioned, we try to integrate that in a lot of the coaching we do with clients, because sometimes not sometimes, almost all the time, problems people have in their business are mirrors of some issues that they're facing inside. So if you can start helping folks in the core of the internal realms, that starts mirroring in the outside realm, and you see the business flowing and changing. So yeah, that's definitely it for me.
Thank you for that. I feel like another LinkedIn Live for us coming on just based off some of the stuff you guys just said. So I'm gonna like definitely parking lot my thoughts on that, because I would love to dive into some of the things that you shared at a larger scale and really dig into the topic that you guys have shared, what you would do for free and kind of like why. I think it's very important. And Iram, when you were like, some of the greater issues are usually a reflection of what's going on within ourselves. The first thing that comes to my mind is ego, which we don't have enough time to talk about, but it's something that we've talked about amongst ourselves. And so that's where I see like the hashtag, like another LinkedIn Live happening around this. So thank you guys so much for sharing that. And one of the other questions that I have, they're starting to get a lot. So they went from like easier-ish to more complex. Now they're going back to easy. Are you hiring?
Yeah, we're always looking for great talent. The way our business works is, you know, really identifying and curating, playing matchmaker to great talent in different disciplines. And you know, we have a lot of different projects in the pipeline that we're really excited about. And yeah, always looking for folks with a resonance with what we're doing and to find opportunities to collaborate. So super open to conversations, resume, LinkedIn links, you know, anything. You can check out the high level of what we're about if you're just joining at lightcocreative.com. It's Erik at lightcocreative.com. Anyone in your extended community, Sharice, always welcome, or Iram at lightcocreative.com. So yeah, please feel free to reach out if you're passionate about what we're doing and have bandwidth for projects.
Yeah, and one thing I would add too, and I think we have this in some of our key players we've shared on Instagram, but we're really looking to find the superhero in everyone. So if you're trying to tap into your superhero and like, what can you bring forward to this planet to help make this world a better place, then reach out to us and we'll help you uncover that, and we can all work together to bring your superhero out.
I absolutely love that. And I really do hope that this has sparked something inside of people. I do believe that energetically there's a lot that has shifted, and 2021, people are looking for clarity coming off of different contrasting experiences that happened in 2020. And so I really do encourage anyone that is listening, watching, whether it's the recap, that you guys reach out to Erik and Iram, follow Light CoCreative, and really just digest what this high vibe company is doing. And if you're in a position to support or want to partner with them, I really encourage just reaching out, having a conversation with them. They painted a beautiful picture, but there's so much more depth in what they bring. And so I'm just so excited to have you guys here. And thank you for blessing the High Vibe Zone with your High Vibe company. I want to give you guys like the final closing to this, to anyone that's watching. what would you say? It doesn't need to be on your business. It could just be what's on your heart. And I know every time we come together, man, it is fire. It is like flow state, go state, as we call it. So I want to just give you guys that last moment and just share what's on your heart before we close this high vibe zone out.
Okay, I'll start so Eric has a moment to think about it. He does this to me in meetings too. Well, I would just say, the thing that's on my mind today, like my intention for the day was power. And I think, 2020 has been wild, but 2021 is really our time as humanity to step into our, I would almost curse here, but I won't, power, our bleep power. And, we all have that. And I think one thing I try to teach my students in yoga is we're all superhuman. There's just a lot of toxins and different things in your biochemistry that are in the way. So do whatever you have to do. It doesn't have to be yoga. It could be surfing, some sort of physical movement or exercise to clear some of this stuff, and then start connecting to who you really are, because everyone is really powerful. And if we all start believing in that and seeing that and then creating with that power, that's how we start creating a better world. So that's really something I've been feeling into for myself and sharing with my friends and my students. So I just want
Yes.
Wow. How to follow up on that?
Go. Before you go, Eric, I guess what you're saying, Iram, in so many words, is step into your humanity power.
You cut out a bit, but I think you are correct. Whatever you're saying.
Okay, I'm back. I think I'm back. I said step into your humanity power.
Yes. There we go. Bingo. I love it. I didn't plan that. I swear.
Go ahead, Eric, please.
Wow, that was great. My closing statement is around, I'd say, hold the vision. So if you have gotten the call, if you have had the dream, keep going. And there's obviously many windy different paths and many different storms and days on the path to your dream and whatever you're seeing, but really hold the vision. There's so much distraction and overwhelm that can occur, especially right now. Conquer resistance every day, stay in your truth, and good things will unfold. So shout out to War of Art. If anyone has read War of Art, it's a top recommended read and required reading for our whole team on resistance. And control what we can control, stay focused, and hold the vision. We got a bright horizon ahead for sure.
I would admittedly say I missed a lot of that. I don't know what's maybe my connection. However, I got the full energetic gist of that. So yes, hold the vision.
Hold the vision. And read War of Art if you haven't, to study resistance.
I also believe whenever there's so many powerful, energetic, high vibe, that technology seems to act a little wonky. So I think we're just going to chop it up to that. But I'm going to close this out. Thank you guys for being here. Don't leave just yet. I'm just going to close this out of the high vibe zone. Thank you everyone for watching this live or the recording. You've been in the first of many high vibe zones for companies. And this has been Light CoCreative with Iram and Eric. Thank you guys for being here. Light, love, and gratitude. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.